Okay. So I think we're live. All right. Quick sound test. All right. Quick sound test. Okay, so we are indeed live. For those of you hopping on and hopping in, thanks for joining. First and foremost. Check one indeed. Okay, I'm gonna play Final Fantasy VI here, because I haven't done that lately. And I'm also gonna be playing with my brand spanking new Xbox One controller. Because my dog may or may not have recently chewed up what used to be my old one. It was a thing. Here we go. So those of you hopping in, I am curious. Did everyone see the thing about VidCon and Nita Sarkeesian and all that good jazz? Okay. I'm used to playing this on my TV. I'm sort of not used to seeing this in such high resolution. I mean, it's kind of strange. Philip, you have to go check that out at some point. It's interesting. Boogie did a video on it. She called him, or she called Sarkeesian was on a panel and called Sargon of Akkad. She called him out in the audience, called him some names. It didn't seem to be overly provoked. It was a big hoopla. You can probably just Google VidCon and find it at this point. Okay. By the way, anybody that hasn't played this particular Final Fantasy, totally worth, especially right now because you can get it so cheap on so many different platforms. The storyline is phenomenal with this really most Final Fantasies have a really good story, but this one in particular, it seems like it's super story driven. 7 has a great story, and it's often considered right on par with 7. So if you've never tried it, you should probably try it. Yeah, you could call my dog some economic stimulus. Though he didn't completely destroy the other one. The other thing was, I have an older original Xbox One controller that needs the wireless receiver. The newer ones, like this one, you can use Bluetooth with. So the other one, I have one of those wireless receivers. It is now permanently in the living room where my dog can also get access to it. And the Bluetooth one now stays in the office. So, oh wow, I just made a big loop there. So, and it's nice to have the extra controller too, because every once in a while I'll play split screen with somebody when they come over or something. Hey, there's somebody over there following me around. I'm also way over leveled right now for this area, this part of the world. Like, I shouldn't. All my characters are over level 30, and they just shouldn't be at this point. Oh, she's about to level up. Speaking of, I've also been doing this thing where I juggle. If you're familiar with the game, I juggle. Oh, that's funny. I juggle my espers specifically because I want everyone to be gaining magic. And the only way to do that on your base stats, and we'll actually pull up Locke here. His base stat, if you look on the left side, his magic is 40. The effect of Meduin is +1 magic at level up. Same for Kate Sith. And since those two are about to level up, I equip those espers so that I can get better magic from my people. That's a good tip in case you ever play this game. I like how Realm is up there just sort of peeking in. And somehow you don't notice, even though I ran past her earlier. The big selling point for buying Final Fantasy VI on the newer platforms is definitely the graphical update. They updated everything. I actually do mine Ethereum on the side. I mine it with my 1070, and what I've been doing is anytime I leave, when I'm not in my office here, or my studio office, my own personal area, I've been, instead of putting my computer to sleep, I just start up the mine, or the mining. So my computer is always on now. It's either mining or I'm doing stuff on it, like gaming. And I guarantee I'm gonna lose lifespan on my graphics card from it, but right now I'm sitting on, like, I don't know, with the current price, probably $70 or $80 of Ethereum, which is about 1/4 of the card's value in the first place. So, you know, it might pay for itself eventually. I would love it if I could eventually pay for the card with the Ethereum I make from it. But the card actually does stay fairly cool. The EVGA cards, which is what mine is, it's a dual fan card. It's just the SC. And mine was after the whole thermal pad debacle. So it does a good job of keeping it cool. Magic, Thundera. Magic, Thundera. This is gonna be a super short battle. What? He doesn't know anything good. Ultros is kind of a boss battle. If I wasn't so over level, it'd be a boss battle. Surprised I haven't beat him yet. You know, I've talked to my brother a lot about this with the 1080s and the 1080 Ti's, and I haven't looked into this myself, and I thought about looking into it to do a little bit of a video on this. But apparently the 1070 mines better than the 1080 and 1080 Ti because of the type of RAM. For some reason, at least talking to my brother is what he said. He said he looked into it a lot more. The GDDR5X does not do as well for mining as the GDDR5 regular does. If you have an R9 290 laying around, that's the card to use though for mining. It'll eat a lot of money in electricity, but it'll give you the best hash rate, I would think. 1080 might do okay, especially because of its efficiency. If you do decide to mine with the 1080 for the win, shoot me a tweet or something and let me know what your hash rate is for Ethereum, because I'm curious. I haven't looked into hash rates though. At least not for the 1080. I thought about trying to sell my 1070 and then upgrading to a 1080 Ti. You also may be able to just pop the R9 in if you have a motherboard that supports multiple graphics cards. You may be able to pop it in if you have a power supply that can do it into the same rig as your 1080 and mine with just the R9. The configuration, I'm not sure how you do that with the configuration file, but I think you could probably do that. Uncle Baldy. Ugh. Yeah, it seems like a long time ago I did back when Bitcoin mining was the thing, before the whole ASIC cards. I think I had a couple different types of graphics cards in the same rig, but I didn't configure it, so I just had it run both of them all the time. Hello. I'm just gonna call you Epic because I don't know how to pronounce the first part of that username. Okay, lock. Alright. Downstairs. I believe it's this one. Been wrong before. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not. Am I right? I picked the wrong. That's obnoxious. I should really probably attach an Esper to Realm. This was originally an SNES game, yes. In North America, Final Fantasy VI was actually released as Final Fantasy III. Which is super confusing, but it was re-released later on. I'm actually playing it on the Steam version, though, because this game's been re-released several times by Nintendo. But yes, originally SNES. I should probably equip her with things in general. Which also, if you've ever played the original, then you'll probably notice pretty quick that the whole layout of the menus is optimized. It's actually the remake for the Steam was based off of the touchscreen remakes for the iOS and Android, which is why the layout is what it is. The whole idea of everything in the layout was to make it more touchscreen friendly, I think. Let's see, you're gonna want case it's which means you're gonna want she's gonna want sheep. I think Realm is usually one of the better. Yeah, Realm is one of the best, like, pure magic users. 49 base, which I think is the highest base in the game. All right, let's do door number this one. I literally picked the wrong door again. It's because it's not it wasn't a first-party game. Technically, it's probably, it's not, I sort of misspoke. It's not actually Nintendo re-releasing it. It would be Square Enix, I think it is now, that's re-releasing the game. So yeah, it's not a Nintendo game, otherwise it wouldn't be on Steam at all, I don't think. Which actually, I think most I think maybe most of the Final Fantasy games are on Steam at this point. I'm stunned that it was the close hole. Like, I thought for sure it would be the far hole, and I picked it wrong. That's what she said. Yeah, I know the jokes are gonna roll in for that one. Oh, yeah, I should probably, like, actually make a move. You know, Final Fantasy is weird. I really liked 4. I started 5 a little bit, but I've started 7. I haven't ever gotten very far because I just can't get into it. I think it's probably honestly just linked to a nostalgic feeling because I played Final Fantasy VI as a young kid back in the, you know, early mid 90s when it was still somewhat new. And I never had a PlayStation, so I never got 7. I didn't at that point have a gaming PC. I wasn't a gaming PC gamer at all until college. So Final Fantasy VI was sort of it for me. And now games sort of have moved past the whole turn-based RPG. Every now and then it's fun to have some nostalgia, though. I've always heard good things about 8. I've always heard it's sort of the style of it's a little bit different. I have a friend that loved 8, thought it was his favorite. So I know 8 is also on Steam. Maybe that's one I'll check out at some point. Yeah, PC gaming was really a mess for a long time. It seemed like. Nowadays, the argument of consoles just work, that's still, for the most part, true. But PCs are a lot easier now than they were then. Oh, I know where I was going with that. Back in the 90s and even early 2000s, if you would... Until really XP got mainstream, if you told me you were a console gamer over PC because consoles just work, I'd totally buy that argument as like a legitimate argument. Now, especially with so few exclusives to the platforms, like PC gaming's just it for me. I mean, shoot, just consider backwards compatibility. PC, even if a game was released, even if a game on the PC is released in the early 90s, there are ways to get that game to function even on Windows 10, whether it be a virtual machine that you can run or whatever. But you know, especially Nintendo, if you have a Switch, there's no such thing as running a Wii U game on the Switch, or a Wii game on the Switch, or an N64 game. Now, Nintendo does better than most in re-releasing and remastering some of their, mostly just re-releasing, but even their old popular games. They've done a good job with getting those onto modern systems. Things like Ocarina of Time, having a 3DS release of it, that sort of thing. As a gamer that has been gaming a long time, I do appreciate that. I do appreciate the re-release of classic games that I used to play, especially for consoles, because they're not backwards compatible usually. Dun, 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 dun. I can pretty much hum along with every song in this game. I played it enough. Oh my gosh, re-release GoldenEye, yes please. That's one of those games that would get eaten up if you just remaster it. Heck, you don't really have to remaster it, but at least give us better controls. Because the whole, like, looking up and down with the C buttons was very strange and all. But you could easily remaster GoldenEye and re-release that. Heck, on the Switch. And you'd have yourself a winner. There was a... I know on the original Wii there was a like a GoldenEye Rogue Agent or something. There was like a game that was like piggybacking the storyline of it. I don't know if they re-released the actual original GoldenEye though. Not sure about that. It's a shame that Leo in this game isn't a playable character. You get one fight with him. Yeah, in PC gaming, that's the other thing that console gamers, when you start looking at the people that debate back and forth which is better, people like you're on the PC side, Rags, or on the console side, I don't know, other YouTubers, JTech, Crap Gamer, those guys. One of the things that the console people really get upset about seems to be PC gamers are like, well, we have emulators, and then of course then it's, well, that's piracy. It's in a gray area for sure. I will point out there is a point where remastering is, like, you need to stop remastering things. Skyrim's a good example right now. Okay, the game came out in 2011 and it's already been re-released like twice that I know of, going on 3. So there was the original Skyrim, there was a Skyrim remastered, there is the Switch Skyrim coming, and then there's 3D Skyrim. Or not 3D Skyrim, but VR Skyrim. Bethesda, stop re-releasing Skyrim. Give us a new Elder Scrolls. I don't care if I've waited, I mean, 2011, it's 2017. I love Skyrim, probably my favorite game of all time. Mostly because of the replay value of it. But good grief, Bethesda, give me a new Elder Scrolls. Don't get me wrong. Actually, another advantage of the PC while I'm thinking about it is because I already had Skyrim and the expansions, the DLC, the remastered version was free on PC. That was nice. I'll give them that. Granted, I missed the Steam Workshop being available on the original Skyrim. It hasn't been opened up on Steam, but I just use Nexus Mod Manager at that point. It's not a big deal. It's a minor inconvenience. I will say for Final Fantasy games, the soundtracks are, especially in that area of like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the soundtracks of those games are incredible. Like, absolutely incredible. Yeah, Nobuo Uematsu is a musical genius. If you ever get a chance, I think it's called the Black Mages that he was a member of. They're basically turn like Final Fantasy music into like metal style music. It's really cool. There's tons of YouTube videos of it though. I'm pretty sure it's called the Black Mages, is the group that he plays in. And one of the things you have to consider when you think about soundtracks of games, too, is back in the 90s, games, especially the heyday of turn-based RPGs, I think part of the emphasis on really good soundtracks may have been, too, that games weren't driven by graphics. Games had to be either story-driven, they had to have good soundtracks, they had to have great character development. Now, with a lot of the sort of AAA popular games, the soundtrack is nice to have one that sort of melds into the game, but not necessarily is something you focus on in any way, because the graphics carry the game a lot of times, and the mechanics of the game itself. This game is a very simplistic game. It's borderline text-based with its actual play style, but you get immersed in the story of it, as well as the soundtrack pulls you in, and those other things to make up for very simplistic graphics. I've been to, back when I was in college, I went to a piano concert at Ball State University, because it was free for students, and a pianist named Alpin Hong was there, and he's well known for playing really popular video game music, like your normal stuff like Mario and that sort of thing. But he led off the concert with, as people were coming in, he came out a little bit early, I believe, and was playing like Mario-themed stuff. The Mario theme song from the original Mario, for example, as people were filing in and sitting down. It was kind of comical, but it was really good and really funny. It was what he sort of used to warm up. It's one of the reasons that I don't actually play or I don't often buy brand new games, because I agree. I think they kind of lack some character at times. I really wish AAA games focused more on storyline. Like, I miss games like the original BioShock was a great story, actually really cool storyline. BioShock 2 is great. The problem is you get these really good storylines, these really intriguing storylines, and then it just becomes BioShock 2, BioShock 3. It becomes Fallout 1, 2, 3, 4. Like they're the same series, which is fine. But give me some new and original ideas too. I mean, like, I will always want to play Elder Scrolls with refined mechanics, updated quest lines, that sort of thing. But I also really like when I get to stumble across a game that is basically completely original. A Dishonored, the original, was a really, really cool game. The art style was unique, or at least unique-ish. It sort of reminded me a little bit of Borderlands, which is another sort of shooter game, but it was a new take on it. So, like, I don't mind series games, but I'm more likely to invest in an original storyline type of a game. Okay, I believe I'm about to go fight some things. In fact, I know I am. This is actually my favorite this is my favorite part of this game, because it's you think you're getting to the end of the game, you're actually not, but you think you kind of are. But it's you get this floating continent thing. No, Assassin's Creed is a great example of a game that had a really cool and original storyline, and then it was just saturated because every year there was a new one. Like, I played 1, I played 2, I played Revelation or Brotherhood, whichever one came first. But I stopped before I got to Assassin's Creed 3 because the storyline was starting to get ridiculous in the last one that I played, and it was the same thing over and over. It didn't have any of that originality. The original one, some of the mechanics were flawed. Like a lot of times, each sort of stage was the same thing. But it was a really cool, like, open or semi-open world. It was really cool just roaming around, trying to get creative with it. It was just sort of cool. It seems like Nintendo's a really bad offender, by the way, of just giving the same thing over and over. Like, Mario platformers, Mario Kart, all this, Zelda. Although, apparently, and I haven't played it, I've seen my brother play it a little bit on his Switch, but Breath of the Wild sort of taking Zelda to a different level, which I like, and, I mean, obviously the reviews for it were phenomenal, so maybe that's not a bad thing. Hopefully Nintendo can get some third-party support for the Switch. Okay. I think I just want... Is the emulation like figured out pretty well on that emulator? Because the biggest thing that I've seen is that Breath of the Wild will run, but not necessarily great. And I know it, at least when it first, the ROM for it or ISO or whatever first came out, it was sort of hard to get it running well without it being really glitchy. Definitely want Sellies. I want Lock. And I want... Edgar. Oh, dang. Is there any glitches that you get on a regular basis, or that you have to sort of live with as you play with it, or is it a pretty much 30 FPS smooth experience for you? Okay, I'll take that under advisement, because that's something I'd definitely be interested in. Oh my gosh, 1440p is what I game at. And my monitor's not like a phenomenal. My monitor's a TN panel, which does have really good gray-to-gray response time. Has not great viewing angles by any means, but it does. It has 75 hertz instead of the standard 60, so that is nice. And I find that on AAA games with settings maxed out, like at like GTA, for example, I can max out settings and get close to 75 hertz. But yes, 1440p rocks, because it gives you a good mix of the super great eye candy, and if you have a really nice monitor, it gives you that other side of things with the super high refresh rates that you can get on some of the 1080p panels, which are just really great. Like I wish my panel was 100 hertz. That's honestly probably the next big upgrade that I'm gonna have to my my setup, is getting a nicer IPS G-Sync, preferably, although I'll wait for VEGA because FreeSync monitors are a little bit cheaper, and if I can get away with using VEGA, that's putting a lot of faith in AMD though. Oh, right, auction. Yeah, TN's not great. It's better than what I came from. And it is 1440p, but it's definitely not the best. I don't like the idea of paying a premium for IPS. My justification for a lot of my setup stuff right now is that I'm making a little bit of YouTube money. So I could sell myself on the idea of, well, it's for my channel, even if it's not really. It's really just because I want a really great gaming monitor. But the idea is there. So I'm going to this auction house over and over, trying to get there's 2 Espers that get sold here. And one in particular has a great level up thing. No, I don't want the angel wings. I get all. Seems like right now, I was gonna say, where is that? But it seems like right now everything's expensive computer related. SSDs, RAM, graphics cards, everything is expensive. Except processor prices are at least competitive, so that's good. Oh, Australia. I do love Hardware Unboxed. I don't know if you watch that channel or not. I didn't mean to bid on that. But Hardware Unboxed is a great channel from Australia. Big fan of that. What is it? Is it Tech Yes City or Tech City Yes? I know there was a point where it was just Tech City. Okay, I'm gonna do this one more time, and if I don't get what I want, I'll just come back later and get it. Do you guys know what the yes is about anyways? Like, why yes? Why is the yes in the name Tech City? Like, Tech City seems to make sense, but Tech Yes City, what's the yes for? I've never quite understood that. Okay, last time. I'm gonna try this. Last time. If I don't get the Esper, I'm done. I'm gonna go to the floating continent without it. Hey, there's an Esper. Gollum, I don't want Gollum. Okay, we're gonna try it one more time for the other one. Because there's a second Esper that gets purchased here that I'm interested in buying. And then I'm going to the floating continent regardless. Boo! Angel wings again. Oh my gosh. I could buy angel wings from here all day long. Alright, we'll come back. I think those were probably leftover links in the description from one of my last live streams. I was probably doing something that was Ryzen related, like a Ryzen streaming test or something, that I wanted those links there, and I just didn't change them, I guess, or didn't get rid of them for some reason. Yeah. Feel free to buy them though. I mean, that'd be nice, but yeah, they just happen to be there. Oh, I can only do a party of 3? Well, in that case, Edgar, Realm, Terra. Nope, Sally's. I have the 1800X, 1700. Do you overclock your 1700? And if so, to what degree? Because you should be able to get close to 4. Amazon doesn't ship to... Yeah, my 1600, I think I have a really beefy cooler on it right now, like a Noctua NHD 15, but with the stock cooler, I think I was getting right around that 3.8-ish range. Are you guys using the stock cooler with yours, or are you do you have an aftermarket cooler on it? Because I know the Wraith Spire actually does pretty good for being included with the processor. I always do that. Yeah, I did one with the stock cooler for my 1600, which is in, like, my 1600 sits in my living room, and it's my sort of HTPC for that whole setup. Yeah, if you have a Corsair H100, then you're good to go. He might be dead. Oh, he's not dead. Yeah, Cinebench is fun. It's just overall kind of fun to watch with Ryzen. I'm jealous of your graphics card. I really am. My dog's barking. I'm gonna have to take him out soon. Which is fine because I'm almost to a good stopping point. A little bit further. Yeah, and that's my thing too. I would like to upgrade to a 1080 Ti, and I'm waiting. I'm gonna be a good consumer and be intelligent about it and wait. But they need to move because Vega is taking longer than it really should. Luckily, I'm glad that it's out in about a month. And the only reason I probably haven't upgraded really is because I'm waiting to see what monitor to get, whether it be G-Sync or FreeSync. If I upgrade that. So, I'll probably do the monitor upgrade first, though. Wow. $250 USD, that's a really good price. Especially because graphics cards are so hard to find right now. I think it's probably starting to trickle down at least a little bit. Even to the 900 series, because gamers are buying up the 900 series. Holy cow. That did a ton of damage. Wow. Well, the problem with Vega is it's gonna probably be off the market before anybody gets a hold of it, because miners are gonna love it because it's that GCN architecture that does really well with mining. So I wouldn't count on, unless you're sitting and waiting for Vega at Amazon, then I don't know that you're gonna have much of a chance to get a Vega card for a while. And the other thing is, I bet they'll be overpriced as heck because of the ability to just charge whatever they want, because miners will snatch them up so fast. I hope I'm wrong about that. I just don't think I am. That's an easy boss. Granted, I'm way over leveled. Wow, I took one step and got in a fight. Okay, Flash, we'll do Blizzara. Oh, man. Yeah, the max level is 999. Magic points, magic level is the normal 999. Actually, I don't know if that's normal, but 999. HP is 9,999. The hit limit, or the damage limit is 9,999 for individual hits, which I think was pretty standard for 4, 5, and 6. I could be wrong. Though I know 4 was just tended to be a lower HP altogether. Alright, let's do this. The other thing is, because I grinded so hard at the start of the game, I have a lot of extra money. So that's nice. Like 180,000. Okay, so that's gonna be it for me. My dog is restless. I hear him barking a little bit in the background, which means that he needs to be taken out. But I appreciate you guys joining. It's been fun. Thanks for chatting with me, and I will, hopefully I'll catch you guys in the comments on my regular videos. Have a great night.